My fiancé betrayed me with my best friend few days before our wedding, Cynthia said sorrowfully. Before I begin this emotional story, take a second and ask yourself this question. What hurts more? Being betrayed by the man you love or being betrayed by the woman you trusted like a sister? Because tonight's story is not just about cheating. It is about jealousy hidden behind friendship, a quiet betrayal nobody saw coming, a woman who destroyed her best friend's happiness out of envy, and the painful karma that followed afterward. Trust me, this story will make you angry, emotional, and reflective. So before we continue, kindly subscribe to this channel, like this video, and turn on your notification bell so you never miss our powerful emotional stories. And please, watch till the very end, because the ending of this story will leave you speechless. Lagos looked beautiful from the rooftop restaurant. The city lights danced across the lagoon while soft music floated through the night air. And in the middle of it all sat three people whose lives were about to change forever. Cynthia Lawson laughed loudly as she raised her wine glass. To my favorite people in the whole world. From her, Danielle smiled softly. Ethan Cole leaned closer to Cynthia and kissed her forehead. Future wife deserves every good thing in this world. Blushed immediately, Danielle watched them quietly. And for a brief second, something dark passed through her eyes. Jealousy, not the harmless type, the dangerous kind. The kind that smiles with you while secretly wishing your happiness would disappear. Cynthia and Danielle had been best friends since secondary school. Everybody knew them. Cynthia was lively, warm-hearted, graceful, the type of woman whose laughter filled every room naturally, fun without being reckless, kind without being foolish, balanced. People loved being around her. Danielle was different, quiet, elegant, soft-spoken, the type of woman everybody described as harmless. She rarely argued, rarely raised her voice, rarely attracted attention to herself, and that was exactly why nobody would ever believe she was capable of betrayal. 5 more days, Cynthia whispered excitedly. Mrs. Cynthia Cole, Ethan teased. The table burst into laughter. Danielle smiled softly, but deep inside her, something ugly was growing, because while Cynthia's life looked peaceful and stable, Danielle's life was filled with hidden bitterness. Her relationships never lasted. Men admired her beauty but never stayed, and deep down, she hated how Cynthia effortlessly received the kind of love she had spent years chasing. 5 days before the wedding, the first boundary was crossed. Cynthia had traveled briefly to Abuja for family preparations. Ethan stayed back in Lagos to supervise wedding vendors. Around 8 p.m., his phone buzzed. Danielle. Please, can you help me? My car broke down around Lekki. Without thinking much, Ethan grabbed his keys. When he arrived, Danielle stood outside the car wearing a simple black dress. Nothing flashy. Nothing dramatic, just subtle elegance. Where's the mechanic? Ethan asked. Already fixed it, Danielle answered softly. Ethan frowned. Then why did you call me? Danielle smiled gently. I just didn't want to be alone. Something about her tone made Ethan uncomfortable. You should head home, he said carefully. You're always so serious, Danielle replied quietly. Then she looked directly into his eyes. Wonder Cynthia feels safe with you. Looked away immediately. That should have been his warning. Temptation rarely announces itself loudly. Sometimes it arrives quietly, softly, patiently. Danielle suggested they stop for a drink. Ethan hesitated, then agreed. That decision changed everything. The lounge was dimly lit. Soft music played quietly. Danielle talked gently about relationships, marriage, loneliness. Then suddenly she asked, Do you really love Cynthia? Ethan looked surprised. Of course I do, nodded slowly. She's lucky. Something about the way she said it felt strange. Then she touched his hand lightly. And for one foolish moment, Ethan did not pull away. That single moment opened the door to disaster. The betrayal happened the next night. And immediately afterward, Ethan hated himself. The moment reality hit him, he stood up in horror. What have we done? Danielle sat calmly on the edge of the bed. No guilt, no shame, just silence. Ethan looked physically sick. Cynthia is my fiancée. Looked at him quietly. And that single word terrified him, because suddenly he realized something. This was not a mistake for Danielle. It was intentional, carefully planned. Ethan grabbed his shirt angrily. How could you do this to your best friend? Danielle looked away calmly. Maybe I got tired of watching her have everything. Stared at her in disbelief. You betrayed her. You betrayed her too. The room became silent. Ethan sat down heavily. Then suddenly he started crying, real tears, not because he was caught, but because he genuinely loved Cynthia. And in one terrible moment of weakness, he had destroyed the woman he wanted to spend forever with. I need to tell her, he whispered. Danielle's expression changed immediately. Why would you do that? Because she deserves the truth. Scoffed softly. People cheat every day, Ethan. Something had died, trust, and Ethan knew it. 2 days before the wedding, Cynthia found out, not from Ethan, from Danielle herself. Because some people do evil not just for pleasure, but for power. Danielle called Cynthia late at night. Can you come over? It's urgent. Rushed there immediately, worried. When she entered the apartment, Danielle sat quietly on the couch. Then calmly she said, I slept with Ethan. The world stopped. Cynthia stared at her blankly. What? Danielle repeated it softly. I slept with your fiancé. Could not breathe, her chest tightened painfully. You're joking. Shook her head slowly. No, filled Cynthia's eyes instantly. Danielle, honestly, it wasn't even difficult. That sentence shattered her completely. Cynthia staggered backward. Why? Danielle shrugged slightly. Maybe because I wanted to. You are my best friend. Remained silent. Tears rolled freely down Cynthia's face. How could you do this to me? Then Cynthia noticed something, a tiny smile, very small but visible, and suddenly she understood. Danielle wanted her broken. That was the goal, not Ethan, not love, destruction. Ethan arrived 30 minutes later. The moment he saw Cynthia crying, he knew. His knees almost gave way. Cynthia, she looked at him with heartbreak. Tell me she's lying. Burst into tears immediately. I'm sorry. 2 words confirmed everything. Cynthia cried harder, not loud, the painful kind of crying that comes from betrayal so deep it feels physical. Ethan moved closer desperately. Listen to me. Don't touch me. Her voice shook violently. Danielle stood quietly watching the destruction she caused, almost emotionless. Long? Cynthia asked. It happened once, Ethan whispered. She kept coming after me. I should have stopped it. I should have walked away. Scoffed softly. Nobody forced you. Covered her mouth while tears poured endlessly. Everything suddenly felt contaminated. The wedding, the future, the friendship, everything. The wedding was postponed. Families became involved. Church elders intervened. Everybody expected Cynthia to cancel the wedding permanently. Even her mother warned her. A man who cheats before marriage will cheat after marriage. When Ethan came to see Cynthia, something was different. He looked terrible, swollen eyes, sleepless nights, visible guilt. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, he said quietly. Then why are you? I love you. And because what I did disgusts me every single day. Slid down his face. I was weak, foolish, careless, but it was never love. Listened silently. And strangely, she believed him because remorse has a language, and Ethan spoke it fluently, unlike Danielle, who showed none. Weeks passed. Painful conversations happened. Counseling happened. Honesty happened. And slowly, Cynthia made a decision nobody understood. She forgave Ethan, not carelessly, not foolishly, intentionally. And months later, she married him. Simple wedding, quiet ceremony, no bridesmaids, especially not Danielle, because forgiveness does not always mean restored access. Danielle was furious, not because she loved Ethan. She never did. She was angry because Cynthia survived. That was what disturbed her. Expected canceled wedding, public humiliation, emotional collapse. Instead, Cynthia moved on peacefully, and that made Danielle bitter. She's pretending to be strong, Danielle told mutual friends. Trust me, Ethan will cheat again. She laughed softly. Imagine marrying a man that slept with your best friend. Subtle poison, small lies hidden inside fake concern. But Cynthia remained silent. No public drama, no revenge, no online dragging. She simply cut Danielle off completely, blocked her, avoided her. Removed her access permanently. And strangely, that silence tormented Danielle more than insults would have, because toxic people often feed on emotional reactions. But Cynthia gave her none, only distance. 1 year later, Cynthia's marriage flourished quietly, not perfectly. Healing after betrayal is never perfect. There were difficult days, moments of fear, moments Cynthia remembered everything and cried. But Ethan remained patient, consistent, transparent. He fought daily for the trust he destroyed. And slowly, their marriage became stronger than their worst mistake. Meanwhile, Danielle met Jason Bello, tall, handsome, wealthy, charming, the type of man who knew exactly how to make women feel chosen. Danielle fell quickly. Within 8 months, they got married. Lavish wedding, luxury decorations, social media everywhere, online. Their marriage looked perfect. But behind closed doors, hell was waiting. The cheating started almost immediately. At first, Danielle refused to believe it. Jason was too smooth, too experienced. The first month felt beautiful. Luxury dinners, weekend trips, expensive gifts, public affection. People envied her, but slowly things changed. Jason became emotionally distant, always pressing his phone face down, always stepping outside to answer calls, always smiling at messages he refused to explain. Sometimes he returned home smelling heavily of female perfume. Danielle ignored the signs because denial felt safer than truth. Then one night around 1 a.m., Jason came home looking irritated. "Where are you coming from?" Danielle asked quietly. "Work." At this time, Jason sighed heavily. "Danielle, not tonight." Coldness in his voice shocked her deeply. This was not the man she married. Still, she remained silent. Because quiet women often suffer in silence longer than people realize, things became worse, far worse. Danielle soon discovered Jason was addicted to female attention. Different women constantly surrounded him. Hostesses, influencers, office staff, old girlfriends. One afternoon, messages appeared on Jason's phone while he showered. "Last night was amazing. Miss you already. When is your wife traveling again?" Danielle's hands started shaking violently. Her stomach twisted painfully. Then Jason walked out casually and saw the phone in her hand. "Why are you checking my phone?" Danielle stared at him in disbelief. "You're cheating on me." Jason collected the phone carelessly. So, that single word broke something inside her. No apology, no shame, no remorse, just arrogance. Danielle burst into tears. "Am I not enough for you?" Jason laughed bitterly. "Women like you always act innocent after ruining other people's relationships." The words hit her painfully because they were true. Jason began humiliating her openly after that. Sometimes he ignored her for days inside the same house. Sometimes he flirted with women directly in front of her during events. One night, Danielle overheard him telling his friend, "A woman that can betray her best friend should never complain about betrayal." Locked herself inside the bathroom afterward and cried till morning. For the first time in her life, she truly understood emotional humiliation. The kind that destroys confidence quietly. The kind that makes home feel emotionally unsafe. And suddenly, the memory of Cynthia crying years ago haunted her terribly, because now she finally understood the pain she caused. Months later, Danielle saw Cynthia unexpectedly at a supermarket in Aikcha. Cynthia looked peaceful, simple white dress, wedding ring, gentle smile. She looked healed. Danielle almost burst into tears immediately. Cynthia turned slowly, their eyes met, years of history sitting silently between them. Cynthia said calmly. Danielle's lips trembled. "Can we talk?" They sat quietly at a nearby cafe. For several minutes, Danielle could not speak. Then finally she whispered, "I'm sorry." Real tears rolled down her face, not manipulative tears, broken tears. "I was jealous of you," she admitted. "Peace irritated me. Your happiness irritated me. I wanted to destroy it because I hated my own life." Listened quietly. "Jason cheats on me constantly," Danielle continued painfully. "And every single time it happens, I remember what I did to you." Silence fell between them. Then Cynthia spoke softly. "Pain has a way of teaching lessons pride refuses to learn." Cried harder. "I became a terrible person." "You became consumed by envy," Cynthia replied gently. Then Danielle asked the question she feared most. "Can you ever forgive me?" Cynthia looked at her calmly. "I forgave you a long time ago." Looked shocked. "Then why did you cut me off completely?" Cynthia sighed softly. "Because forgiveness and access are not the same thing." That sentence humbled Danielle deeply, because finally she understood some betrayals heal, but they permanently change relationships. Danielle eventually left Jason, quietly. The marriage had drained her emotionally. For the first time in her life, she stopped competing, stopped pretending, stopped chasing appearances. Pain humbled her deeply. One evening, she sat alone staring at old pictures, her and Cynthia in secondary school, laughing, dreaming, promising to remain sisters forever. Danielle cried silently. Because sometimes the greatest punishment is realizing you destroyed something beautiful with your own hands, not because you lacked love, but because you lacked contentment. And envy poisoned your heart. 3 years later, Cynthia and Ethan welcomed their second child. Their marriage was not perfect, but it was honest. Built on painful lessons, grace, growth, and hard-earned trust. As for Danielle, she became quieter, kinder, more reflective. Life had humbled her deeply. One Sunday after church, she saw Cynthia from a distance holding her daughter's hand. Their eyes met briefly. Cynthia smiled politely, and Danielle smiled back, not as best friends. That chapter had ended forever, but as two women who survived pain differently. One consumed by jealousy, the other refined by forgiveness, and standing there quietly. Danielle finally understood something she once ignored. Jealousy does not destroy the person you envy first. It destroys you.